Okay, children, so the next topic is transformer. And transformer's principle, the device. Transformer is a device which is for changing a AC voltage. Okay, so if you want to change AC voltage, if you want to increase AC voltage or you want to decrease AC voltage, a transformer is used. It is of two types, one which increases AC voltage and the one which decreases AC voltage. Now the one which increases AC voltage is called step up transformer and the other one is called step down transformer. So the one which increases AC voltage is a step up transformer. That means suppose you have a 220 volt AC supply. So if you want to make it 330 volt AC supply, then we have to use step up transformer. And if you have a 220 volt AC supply, we want to bring it down to 110 AC supply, then we have to use step down transformer. So basically transformer is a device which is used for in AC circuits only. In AC, DC is not used in this. Now the principle on which it is depends is mutual induction. Okay, mutual induction. So this principle only will tell us, you know, that mutual induction happens when there is a change in flux in one coil due to current in the another coil. So there will be two coils. Here we have two coils, and so here is one coil in which we connect our AC signal, and then there is another coil which is a secondary coil. Okay, from where we will take output. Output is obtained from here. So here is the input and here is the output. Now the coil which has a input in it is called primary coil. Okay, primary coil, and the one which through which we take output is called secondary coil. So we can have two coils kept near to each other. We can also have one insulate coil wound one over the other. One coil here, another coil wound over here. So these are the two ways in which coil can be wound. So here this is your primary and this will be your secondary, from where output will be obtained. Okay, now here we can place to increase the flux linkage between the two coils. AC the ferromagnetic core material core is used, and if we are using it in the previous chapter already we have done that laminated sheets are used in transformer. So why laminated? Because there will be eddy current. If you keep a ferromagnetic material here in between or here inside the core, there will be eddy current produced in it because of the change in the there is alternating current in this, so there is change in magnetic field, so there will be eddy current. So to reduce eddy current, laminated iron cores is kept. So if there is no core inside, this is the case, and the diagram this is the case. And if you have a laminated core, so we make it like this. So these are the different sheets, and here is your one primary coil and here is the secondary coil. Now number of turns in primary and secondary depends what type of transformer you want to have. So if we have a that we will see later. So if there are two types of coil, primary and secondary, so number of turns in primary coil is considered NP and number of turns in secondary coil is considered NS. Okay, and the ideal inductor, these are actually inductors only. Ideal inductor is a primary coil and secondary coil are ideal. If they are ideal inductor, there won't be any resistance offered by them. There will be a very good quality of conducting wire. So resistance, if we consider that resistance to be 0, so there will be complete mutual induction and no heat loss because of the resistance of the wire. Okay, no heat, yeah. So for an ideal transformer, if you consider this to be an ideal transformer, then the primary and secondary coil, they have negligible resistance and all the flux in the core links both the primary and secondary coil. There is no loss of the flux. Okay, and energy loss due to magnetic hysteresis loop or hysteresis in the iron core is also negligible for ideal case. Ideal is a perfect case, but practically that ideal case cannot be achieved. Now any transformer will have two coils, primary and secondary coil, two sets of coil insulated from each other. There is no otherwise there will be short circuit. So they are insulated from each other and wound on soft iron core made of laminated sheets. So here just soft iron core made of laminated iron sheets, and AC is applied to the primary coil. So the coil which connects the AC source is the primary coil and the other one is the secondary coil. Now this primary coil now produces alternating magnetic flux in the secondary coil because there is change in current's direction, so there will be change in magnetic field around it, because of which the flux of the secondary coil will also change. So EMF is induced in the secondary coil, and it depends on how much EMF is induced. That depends on the number of turns in the secondary coil. Okay, children. So now here is the EP. EP is suppose the EMF which is alternating EMF which we are giving to the primary coil. So EP can be written as EP naught sin omega t. Now if it is ideal inductor, then the power, then resistance in this will be 0. Then the power dissipated in primary coil will be 0. Okay, and because of these two, because of this alternating EMF, there is a induced alternating flux. Okay, alternating flux is induced in the iron core. Because of this magnetic field changing here, there will be induced flux, alternating flux. Direction of flux will keep on changing in the iron core. Because of this, because this mutual induction and change in the flux, there will be EMF induced in the secondary coil, and which is equal to minus d phi by dt. And if there is ns number of turns, then it will be ns d phi by dt. So this is our output voltage, Vs, all the voltage in the secondary coil. Now because of this change in the flux in the iron core, and because of this, both of them together will induce an EMF in the primary coil called back EMF. Okay, and so because of this, the back EMF in the primary coil EP will be minus NP d phi b by dt. Okay, now this EP can be written as the input voltage or voltage in the primary coil. Why? Because otherwise primary current would be infinite as RP is 0. Okay, so because RP is 0, the current will become infinity, because we know that I is equal to V by R is 0. So if R is 0, current will become infinity. But to control it, there is a back EMF, and the potential difference between the primary coil should be equal to this expression, which is EP is equal to Vp. So we have Vs and we have Vp. Now if we consider Vs and Vp expression, so I can write here as Vp. Okay, so if I do Vs by Vp, so what will happen? This you just see, for Vs minus ns d phi b by dt, and for this it is minus np d phi b by dt. So minus minus cancel, d phi b cancel, because we consider the total flux is linked between the two coil, there is no loss of flux. So it is ns by np. Okay, what do we get? Vs by Vp is equal to ns by np for ideal coil transformer. So here is the expression. This is valid for all the cases. Now from here, if you see, if ns is greater than np, okay, if ns is greater, then your Vs will be greater than Vp. If you design your transformer in such a way that ns, number of turns in the secondary coil, is more than the number of turns in the primary coil, then your Vs, the voltage in the secondary coil, will be more than voltage in the primary coil. So this is the condition for a step up transformer. Okay, this is condition for a step up transformer. But if your ns is less than np, if we design it in a way that ns, number of turns in secondary coil, is less than number of turns in the primary coil, then definitely Vs will be less than Vp. That means voltage produced in the secondary coil is less than the voltage in the primary coil, and this is the condition of a step down transformer. Okay, so if you have to design step down transformer, just make ns less than np, and if you want to make step up transformer, make ns greater than np. But by what amount it should be greater and less, that depends on the ratio, what ratio we want. Okay, now this condition which we obtained, this is based on three assumptions. One, the secondary current is very small. The second condition is the primary resistance and the current is very small. And third is the flux linkage links both the primary and the secondary coil, is very little flux escapes from the core. So for that, if you want very little flux to escape from the core, this kind of arrangement is a better arrangement. So maximum flux will be linked, and there will be negligible loss in the flux. Okay, so these are the three assumptions based on which we will get this expression, but this is valid for in all the cases for a transformer. Okay, now if the transformer is assumed to be 100% efficient, it is not necessary, but if suppose a transformer is 100% efficient, 100% efficient, then you see input power, the condition for this is input power should be equal to output power. Okay, but power is voltage into current, so our input current is IP and input voltage is Vp, and output current is Is and output voltage is Vs. Now from here you see, this implies Vs by Vp. Okay, Vp I am taking here is equal to Ip by Is. So you see here we are getting this. This is only in case of 100% efficiency, but this is always possible. So from here I can see, so if I use this expression and this expression, what I'll get is Vs by Vp is equal to Ip by Is is equal to, but Vs by Vp is Ns by Np. Okay, now you see here, for a step up transformer, NS is greater. Okay, NS is greater than NP. If NS is greater than NP, that means IP is greater than IS. The current in primary coil is greater than current in secondary coil. So if you are using a step up transformer, what it is doing, it is reducing the current in the secondary coil. So that is the reason why we are and so heating effect in the secondary coil will be less. So this is the reason why we use a step up transformer in the long distance transmission of electrical power. So we have a power station which generates electricity, then we have a step up transformer. So what will it do, it will increase the voltage but decrease the current. At the same time it will decrease current. Okay, and because current is less, so heating effect in the long run transmission will be less. And at the last end there is a step down transformer, so it will reduce the voltage and increase the current, and then that current that voltage can be used sent to the household for household uses. Now you remember here children that transformer is a AC device. We have done everything related to AC. So transformer is a AC device and not a DC device. It does not affect the frequency. Whatever is the input frequency, same will be the output frequency. So frequency will remain same. And if voltage is raised, if you are raising voltage, then current reduces by equal time. Suppose you are increasing voltage by n times. Okay, so if your input voltage is 220 volts and you want to make it 880 volts, that means you want to make it 4 times here, then your NS, so your current will become 1 by 4 times. Current in this secondary coil will become 1 by 4 times. And also this here when I took 100% efficiency, but if sometimes a numerical 100% efficient transformer may not be given. Suppose the efficiency of transformer is given 80%. So if efficiency is 80%, that means your output power is equal to 80% of input power. Okay, and for here what you can do is output power will be IS and VS, then 80 by 100 IP Vp. So this expression you can use, and from here your Is by Ip will be equal to 80 by 100 Vp by Vs. Now for Vp by Vs you can use expression. See here, Vp by Vs will be Np by Ns, so I can write 80 by 100 Np by Ns. Okay, so depending on the percentage of efficiency given, you can solve it. But if it is 100% efficiency, then this is the expression. But whether it is any other percentage or 100%, you see voltage and current are inversely proportional to each other. So if you increase, if you use a step up transformer, the current in the secondary coil will decrease. Voltage will increase, but definitely the current in the secondary coil will decrease. And here the maximum transfer of energy from EMF device to the resistant load of the resistance of EMF device and resistance of load must be equal. That means the for maximum transfer of energy. Okay, so for maximum transfer of power, the resistance of the EMF device, this is the EMF device here, induced EMF is produced here, should be equal to the resistance of the load, the load which you have connected. So their resistance must match for maximum power transfer. Then comes energy losses of a transformer. There are 5 types of energy loss. First is the flux leakage. Okay, flux leakage or incomplete flux linkage due to poor design of core or air gap in the core. So this will always happen because no transformer is perfectly designed. So some amount of leakage may be small, but there will be. So to reduce this flux leakage, the winding, to reduce by winding the primary coil on over the secondary one. So that's what I was telling you, that this kind of setup, these are all transformers, this kind of a setup is the best for to reduce flux linkage. Okay, then second is resistance of winding. So the wire which you are using to make a transistor coil, that has resistance. So resistance of the winding, due to this energy is lost in the form of heat produced in the wire, and that heat is I square R. So there will be some energy loss because of the resistance of the wire. So it can be minimized by using thick wire. So if you're using thick wire, you know R is inversely proportional to area of cross section. R is equal to rho L by A. So if you're using thick wire, area is more, so resistance of the wire will be less. So this is how we can reduce this. Then the next is hysteresis loss. So hysteresis loss, you know, that if you're using a ferromagnetic material and there is a AC source, so because of AC source the magnetic material get magnetized, demagnetized, again magnetized. So magnetization of core is repeatedly reversed by alternating magnetic field, and so the energy is dissipated in the core and appears as heat. Now this can be minimized by using a magnetic material whose hysteresis loss is low. So area of hysteresis loop is low, so that is soft iron. So that is why soft iron is used and not steel. Then you have eddy current. There is another loss because of eddy current. This is because alternating magnetic flux induces eddy current in the core. So this can be, eddy current can be reduced by using laminated iron cores. Okay, laminated iron core reduces the increases the length of the least resistance path of the eddy current, and so the current reduces. Then fifth is humming loss, that is the sound produced there. So humming loss is it. Then comes application of transformer. So for long distance transmission of electrical power, it is used to reduce energy loss of electrical energy in the form of heat in transmission line. The voltage is stepped up, so the current reduces, and because of the less amount of current in the secondary coil for long distance when it travels, the heat power loss is reduced. The power of transmission at high voltage reduces current in the transmission line, hence power loss is considerably reduced. And at the consumer end, the voltage is stepped down using a step down transformer. Now there are few symbols which are related to step up transformer and step down transformer. So if you have if there is no core inside, then to make a step up, you draw this coil. Step up transformer will be drawn like this. Okay, here is your primary coil and here is your secondary coil. So this is the step up transformer. Okay, and step down transformer mein, here you will make more number of turns and here you will make less number of turns. This is your output and this is your input. So this is step down transformer. Okay, symbol. Now if I make two parallel lines in between, this is also a step up transformer, but here you have a iron core, and this is a step down transformer. Here if you draw parallel line, there also there is a laminated iron core. So if there is air core, we don't draw these two parallel lines. If there is iron core, laminated core, we draw the parallel line, and these are the symbol of the transformer used. Thank you.